Um, this has been the pretty interesting week. I did a meme of like, oh my god, what should I do? Which conference should I watch and all that stuff. Actually, this year I've been at the React Conf in person, so I've got some swag from it. This is like a keyboard that they were giving to everyone. I haven't figured out how to like configure it yet, but I can like I don't know, turn the knobs and like the volume will change and stuff like that. It's funny that like there are like some launcher buttons, and if you like launch VS Code, it will just like open the spotlight and type VS Code, which is yeah, it's good that they didn't add the malware. Well, at least as far as we know. But yeah, the VidConf was happening. I actually haven't like completely like I have like no idea what happened at VidConf. The only talk that I watched so far from that one was like Astro one, but they didn't like announce anything that was like super crazy that like I didn't know before. So the one that the one that I'm going to be focusing kind of like right now is going to be remix one. Uh, it was like very short, and I actually liked one of the like non remix talks. Well, I guess not remix with you. Yeah, about like Shopify admin and all that stuff. It's like yeah, uh, we're doing kind of like some of that stuff at work, so it was like interesting to kind of like to see and compare or whatnot. But obviously, everyone was like tuning in to see Remix 3. And I see a lot of like people on Twitter who are just like watched a bit of the talk, and more people who just like saw a screenshot of someone else watching the talk. Oh yeah, hi. And uh, there were just like a couple of people who actually like touched it and like tried to run it and whatnot. So I'm not going to go too much over kind of like what was in the talk or whatnot. I just want to play with the code. I think it's only kind of like fair, right? I did like a Ripple stream before, so yeah, it makes sense to do it kind of like that way. So in terms of the code, they were like giving out CDs with the code. So the Michael's demo is published. It's called Bookstore, and that's where a lot of the server side stuff. Um, the high level, the server side stuff is like, well, if you have been doing like kind of like Hono, right, or Nitro or something like that, that is like kind of like just like a modern take or kind of like a node on JS. So it's like, well, that's along your lines. That's like routing. There are some like type safe things. They didn't go too much into like API like routes. Like I didn't see like Open API or something like that, right? That is like I don't know, like the stuff that like Alicia does, for example, right, where they automatically like write your like Open API docs just like from TypeScript types. Well, again, right? They are they are late to the party. They are writing what they think was happening like 5 years ago. So yeah, like Elysia didn't happen for them yet. Um, they know Bun, right? So like it's not like 10 years ago. It's 5 years ago. Okay, so and there is this guy, Sergio. I don't know. I don't think I follow him. But he did like his own kind of like version. Um, I think it's not exactly like based on any of the demos. He might have just like created it from scratch. And so this is very cool. I like messaged Kant and like, hey Kant, where is the code? I want to see the code. And he said that he published the the drummer, like the demo that was on CDA, he published it on his GitHub. So um, all of them are like in different versions of broken, because they broke some like they published some like breaking changes to the like version 0 of their packages and whatnot. So it's like tricky to figure out what is going to work. But this is the scope. Like, we're going to look at the code. We're going to try to run kind of like as much of that as possible, and we are going to like um, air my opinions, or like as we go, because I have a lot of opinions. I kind of like wanted to do the um when I was at ReactConf, like it was fun to different versions of broken. Yeah, hi Jack. Uh, uh, it's funny that like someone like messaged me on Twitter. It's like, I'm blocking JLarky because he reposted a broken like demo, and it's like, what is going on? Like, why are you why are you so salty? But yeah, I don't know if you blocked me, but it was funny. Can you put links to all the repos in the chat? Okay, sure. Well, I'm going to start with this one, right? That's the like the big one or whatever. That's my whole hope is that like this one is going to be the the working one. But when I will do the YouTube video, I will like post all the links that I can like know. Um, okay, so I forked it. We're going to look at like if it works or not. um, I actually made sure that like my like AI like setup works. I think the time I tried with Ripple, it wasn't working. Like, we will test some of those claims about like, oh, AI is like perfectly happy with like this framework. Um, I actually did some of that stuff that like Ryan was saying. That is like, oh, I will write something and I will like ask AI is like, hey, what do you think about this API? And if you see that it doesn't understand, you're like, hey, lower than average developer can't understand what I'm saying. I need to like rebuild it. Uh, oh yeah, Jack in the chat. Like the big thing about React Conf is like I met so many people that like I know kind of like online, but I actually saw them in real life. Um, I think there were like a couple of people that like I saw but like I didn't talk to, so which is going to be kind of like fun. And uh yeah. Okay, so I don't have like too much time, so I'm going to be kind of like I'm going to try to do thing uh pretty kind of like quickly, just to get like the first impressions. I want to like make a more of like a tutorial stream about Remix V3 that is like, hey, I want to build this thing. Because, yeah, the short version is like, I didn't really like the demo that they did for Remix V3. I think they went like very slow. I think they mm, might have kind of like over indexed on some of the like the features that like you could hear in the crowd that like no one was like clapping or like having too much fun like during a lot of the demos and whatnot. Maybe that's why they went a bit longer or whatnot. But yeah, it's just like I want to find out if there's like a better way to show some of that stuff. They were addressing, yeah, exactly. It's like they were showing this as someone who's like using like I don't know, like Rails and Stimulus, and it's like, who are like, you maybe have like two people in that crowd that like know what they're talking about. Everyone was there for like remix. Anyway, enough yapping. We've been uh where is it? Where's my time? Yeah, 10 minutes yapping without showing any code, and it's like, yeah, talk is cheap. Show the code. And so there's README. It says npm start. I'm not sure where I can npm start. I guess this one is npm start. Okay, well let's try. He forgot to npm install, and they were saying, oh, okay. In this editor, the Command W command is broken, so that's not going to be fun. Okay, the new port. I'm a fan of the new port. It's funny that like we're iterating on ports. For a while, it was just like 3,000 for everyone. Um, they were trying to do Redux style, build it from fundamentals. Yes, 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 and I think that could work. It's just like they put all the interesting stuff in the last minute of like 3 hour talk. So yeah, I don't know. They should have like figured out how to like. Uh, okay, okay. So this one doesn't work. This one doesn't work. This one doesn't work. This one doesn't work. Okay, great start. We are we are at the great start. Okay, so let's see. I want to see the drummer one. That's the one that they had on the stage. So that's like the interesting for me. Okay. Um, I want to figure out. Well, let's start with like what is breaking. All right. So like, what is the chunk, right? So like, so this one is bundled. What are we? Oh, that's not not that thing. Um, Let me try incognito then. Okay, yeah. So this is better. So this is HTML. So this is yeah. So app.js doesn't work. Okay, so it like sounds like something broken with just can't set up, not exactly with the jam itself, but okay, I'm missing some chat. MJ took so long talking about file uploads. I was kind of yeah. Like he worked on that file upload thing for a while, so that makes sense. The 2% riffing with each other thing worked really well, though. Yeah, I think that was like, um, I think that part was fun because like he was like in the audience, but he would ask something, and I think that that actually like a good format for like lab demos and stuff where you can like you're like, hey, an audience, maybe someone knows what I'm showing, like talking about. Can you find a bug in this thing? Where it's like two presenters who actually like know the thing. I think it should go better. Okay, the presentation really well done. I didn't like the presentation. I don't know. I don't know if I'm wrong, but yeah, I didn't think it was like very very well done. Okay, so um so the bad thing is that it's not super clear. It's not super clear which version of like this is cans and which version of this is presentation. Yeah, documentation. Okay. Okay, so we're going to start with package. So the dev server starts dev's browser and dev server. Oh, that's a thing. And there's also start command. Okay. I wonder like if we didn't build some. This is going to be so. This is going to be so annoying. Okay. Okay. So don't read the readme. Use the install npm run dev. Okay. Um. Okay. Set tempo. Uh, uh, uh. I'm too slow. Okay. Great success. Let's see the chunk stuff again. Yeah, chunk. Okay, so we have build, right? So like all the people who are like saying, "Oh, Remix will have no build." Yeah, well, in some sense. Okay. Um, drummer example was kind of smart to show off. Yes, yeah. I've been like watching at the same time like Ryan Carniato and Remix Jam, and Ryan was like saying, "This is like to find an example where their thing makes sense that probably took a while, and they found like a very good example for the event stuff. Okay, so again, like 15 minutes in, we finally see something. Okay, so I have the dev server running. The thing that I'm going to do now is going to be go to the like drummer, and I'm just going to like console log something here, right? And am I going to have HMR? Because that's the interesting part for me. Okay, not having HMR. Uh, and again, like, is this something that Kent did? Is it something that it also like not formatted? Oh, that's annoying. Okay, I'm just going to say like, please set up reader in this repo. The perks of having like AI configured. Okay, so HMR is not working. That's like very annoying. Okay, um, let's look at the build stuff then. So the browser will just run esbuild, bundle minify, splitting. Yeah, so I can turn off the chunking stuff if I will find that's better. The watch command for dev. Okay, this is kind of like as no build as you can go if we're like very. What are you doing? Where's the allow button? They keep breaking stuff. Okay. Uh, they're only rebuilt for TSX. Oh, what do you mean? What do you mean they only rebuild? Yeah, but the rebuild is not the interesting part. I'm interested in the like HMR because that's like my big thing, right? Like I've been building kind of like Remix V3 for a year now, and like in my thing, the HMR was like the most important part for me. Okay, okay. While the prettier thing is going, what else can we learn? Yeah, TSX watch again. Like, what year are we in? Like, why are we using TSX? You can like use Node with TypeScript right now, right? So like, this is flying in face of the whole like no build thing. Yeah. So, and as far as I understand, like a lot of this is like written by Kent because he was doing the whole like different pages, right? So like he did the Wordle, he did this one, right? So um, yeah, it's not super clear how much of that was like in the demo. But the important part is like it works, right? So I was hearing that like none of this works, so this is a good sign. Um, add command to format code that I can run with npm run fumt. Okay. Um, Yes. So let's start with the server because like that's where the stuff starts. So we need to some sort of like listen, right? So what is server? The server is like their yeah. So like create request listener is from like node server, right? And if like you're using Bon or like Cloudflare Workers or whatever, you will have just like a different like wrappers for this thing, which is again like Hono or whatever, like they're all doing this, and then handle request. Interesting. So like it doesn't have a, they don't have a type. So like if I return something wrong here, return new error. I don't know. Like will that? Yeah. So like they have the type here, so it should return um okay, so it should be fetch handler. Okay, what is fetch handler? Request client response or promise of response. Yeah, okay. It's just like funny that like they didn't like cast this one to that type. They were just like you will see the error once you break it. Okay. Um okay. So let's format all of this. Okay. Formatted the repo. Okay. Um, readme. Okay. Okay. I'm not going to look into any of that stuff. I'm just going to trust it. Breeder. And again, I like no build, but like not that much, right? It's like how are you dealing with no with no breeder? Okay. Um okay. Anyway. So the hello request type serve JavaScript. Okay. Um Hmm. That feels like something like bolted on. Like it doesn't feel like they. And I saw that like different versions are doing this differently. So yeah, this feels like a bit broken. TS expect and all that. Yeah, this. Yeah, I'm not going to critique it that much because like I don't know who added that. uh, Interesting. This basically looks like pre-RSC, pre-Vite remix with React, but without React. Yes, it looks like something without everything. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So this doesn't look great. Um, I feel like there is a feature to do this on the other side. So, and you're doing URL twice. Yeah, this is a bit silly. So the path. Uh, Yeah. I wonder if it has like a security thing where if you do like dot 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 etc passwords, like if it will like parse it correctly. Because like if you do code like this, there is like a chance for you to get into those issues. Okay. Um yeah, not super great so far. Okay, the HTML without JSX again. Like this doesn't look good. Not escaped names, not escaped URL. Okay. Yeah, this is just not great. Let's hope that this part is going to be better in the other ones. Okay. So and that also means that it doesn't have SSR. So no SSR and no HMR. Not great. Not great. Not great. Um, Sir homepage. Yeah, but this is like I don't know how to say it, but like if you just ask AI, it's like, hey, vibe code me a thing so it shows the page, like you will get this, but I'm not sure if that's good because like AI doesn't know about like security concerns. Yeah, I'm not going to investigate if it does have it, and especially because like I don't know if that's like whose code that is, but it just the how to say the the risk is there. Okay, that's how I'm going to say it. Okay, so that's the demo that they did on the client side. So that's where we have JSX, right? And I think that means if we disable JavaScript, we're going to see empty page, right? So it's complete like SPA thing. There should be like some sort of like mount. Um, should be like a mount call. Yeah, so this one, right? So, and I need to refresh. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So like yeah. I think that like the interesting thing about it is like server integration, and there's like zero server integration in this one. It's really early. We're talking about last mile. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's why I don't want to like go too deeply into that, but there's also like some signs some signs of the like the approach that are going to be not great. Okay. Um I don't know how much of this I'm going to be looking at. Okay. So the first question is like how are we getting it, right? So in HTML, so we have this like module drummer app, right? So app.js, right? So like, where is that coming from? Um, serve specific game, right? So drummer remix jam, and it's like whatever the path is, there should be app jazz. Okay. So that means that app jazz will. Okay. Yeah. So all of this stuff is coming from npm. Okay. Um. Hmm. Oh my god. Yeah. There were like a couple of things that were interesting for me, and I'm not seeing any of them here. So that's a bit sad. Okay. So border radius. Okay. So I changed the border radius. I have to refresh. Not even seeing where's the which border radius did I change? This one? Yeah, it's this one. I'm like curious if I should just like fork it and make it work with Vite because like it is like simple enough that like you should be able at least to get like a Vite thing working. Okay. Um. Yeah. I don't know. All of this is like yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so we start at the start, right? So we start at the server. What is going to happen if I like have? Yeah, this is show for it just shows the index page. That's why we were like seeing the JS serve not right. So doesn't have preload modules and all that stuff like some other ones did. Yeah. So the the handle request is like a simple like request response. So that part makes sense. But like this routing is yeah not great. Not using like kind of like remix like server features. So this one not using JSX also like not fun. Um, the no build right. It means no HMR, no uh, no some of the features that you get with the build and whatnot, right? Uh, the body is empty when you load it and all of that stuff, and like it's a manual response with the headers and all that stuff. So like all of this stuff that is like actually fixed in the Michael's demo. Yeah, so this is a bit upsetting. Okay, so in the sense of their talk, right? That is like, hey, imagine you're building like completely from scratch in vanilla, which is again how many people can imagine that. It's like this is what you would do, and it's like, oh, isn't this part annoying? Isn't this part annoying? Isn't this part annoying? Isn't this part annoying? And Michael is like fixing all that stuff. So I think that like in the flow of the talk that makes sense. But also I was expecting more. Okay. I think I will just pivot. I think I will just go into like more interesting demo. Okay. So let's go to the bookstore demo. Uh Again, all my comments about like different states of broken and whatnot. Right? Git clone remix work. Uh, okay. Yeah, it's funny that like they overtook the repo. That's at the remix React conf. Like the remix thing was kind of like discussed and whatnot a bit, and it's like why didn't they change the different? Yeah, why didn't they change the name? Why they didn't change the repo? That like feels so yeah silly. Anyway, so let's see if that works. Published blog post, goals, blah blah blah. Don't care. Um, I think the demo is using the like the packages from the repo, like it doesn't install anything. So oh 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 no, I don't know why my like control command W is broken on this like computer, but yeah. Um, okay, so I think we need to install the thing first, and then we can go. Yeah, it doesn't have any README, which is always a good sign. Um, it's good to be so annoying. Okay, CD demos, CD bookstore. Okay, so do we need to install here? Maybe. Okay, that's not a good sign. Okay, let's try it. PNPM. And then let's try dev. Okay, address and use. Okay, that's a good sign. Let's kill this one. Okay. Um, not found. Okay, so we have routing at least. Okay, so this is much more interesting. Oh no, why do the images load so slow? Where are they getting the images? Oh, I have slow for J. Okay, sorry. I was like, what could be possibly wrong with their app that it doesn't work? Okay. Uh, it tests, even tests. We're like, this is a serious business. Okay. So I want to see at this server first, right? So Bookstore is running, Node and like create listener and all that stuff is, yeah. So now they're using router. Okay. Well, the first thing I'm going to try is if I change something, do I get HMR? Okay. Did I not kill enough images? Yes. So I'm not getting HMR, but and again, it's like, why don't you just go to talk to like Nitro guys or whatever? And I don't know. That's just I didn't expect to be this annoyed, but here we are. Okay, so the router, uh, home contact search. Okay, so I guess yeah, the common clicking thing is good, but again, it's like nothing that we had like 10 years ago, maybe 5 years ago. The the like the type safe kind of like routing, right? So like this is all good. Um, and I think actually like prettier works. This is much better demo so far. Okay, so frames. Uh, they could have just called it HTMX frames, right? So we're going to go to um, incognito. Why is it slow for G? I don't remember. Like, what did I test that was requiring slow for G? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to like make it so we have like a small example of um oh, int.js is 404. Okay, well, we're back at like different states of broken. You fix the assets. Okay, this one is also 404. Yeah, this is a full page reload. Yeah, this is a full page reload. Okay, so their client side is not working here. Great, great, great. Let's look at like Andrea.js. What is even Andrea.js? Right. So find assets. Okay. So the assets part is like type safe, but the entry.js is not. So entry.ts. Yes. So we have the entry.ts, but who is going to build it? That's the question. Okay. So we should have had public assets, I guess. Right. So this is the part that was supposed to be working. And I started dev, but I didn't start dev browser. Okay, this is not great. Demos, bookstores. Yeah, running two commands for stuff is like so. Oh, interesting. This one is still full page load. Why? What is going on? Okay, so there's no. This is still full page. What does client side do? Okay, this is the more that I look into all of this stuff, the less I understand what's happening. Okay, so the interesting thing is frame, right? So like we are going to look at the frame. Uh, so there is app slash books. Um, this one, right? Um, uh, so where it shows grid. So this one is, yeah. Okay, if I refresh it quick enough, I see loading. Okay, so that's their like um Astro Server Islands, and I think HM, HTMX HX load. Yeah, I think that's the one, right? Like on load, just load this thing, right? It like loads slowly, and you show the indicator first, and then you replace it with the thing. So it's like their frames is basically this, right? The server defer and like HTMX lazy loading, which is like it's not bad, right? But it's also like not like from this century, right? So if how slow, right? It's loading it. It doesn't do like suspense like React would do, right? Where it can like check if the images are loaded before showing it and all that stuff. So it's like it's the very basics. It's the very like HTMX kind of like way. Should be very easy to make it Vita Nitro. Yeah, and I think it's like funny. Someone tweeted, someone from like Remix team is like, "Oh, I can create like a bundler plugin like so easy for this," and like Michael Jackson's like, "No." um, yeah. So are they streaming? So I guess the question is like, how many? Right. So like, if I have this like heavy metal guitar riffs, right, who's actually like delivering it, right? And um so they are streaming, and I think it's stimulus stream, uh turbo stream, turbo streams. Okay, right. So it's like it's literally this. uh it's like you can stream things, and you can send actions, right? So it's um yeah, it's a good call out, right? It's like the server islands and the HX they will have like a separate call. So it's not the same as like streaming. Which actually like there's like a question about like how would you cache it and all that stuff. So like having separate calls is actually like not worse necessarily if you're doing it. But like because it's in the same request, I can have like some sort of like global state and like cookies or whatever, like access to that. And also I guess the question, so like if I don't have entry, right? So that's kind of like um that's kind of like a React thing. Yeah. So in React, uh if you have streaming, the code for streaming is actually inline. So it can stream before hydration. But this one requires kind of like the framework to be there, right? So like if I block the entry, it doesn't work anymore. Um, yeah, so it is like closer to HTMX, right? Like if I block HTMX, this is not going to work. But like they will send those um, fragments, right? But there if there is nothing to pick it up, right? Nothing to put this in, nothing to like turbo stream. It's just going to stay there. Um, yeah. Okay. I'm actually curious. What's the like the wire kind of like protocol, right? So like that's what frame is turning into. It will just have like the marker. Oh, interesting. Do they preserve them in the DOM? Yes, they do. Okay. So this is like a long-term marker, right? So like it is kind of like um uh how do I say it? Probably like closer to like Datastar, right? Like Datastar will have like IDs for everything. They're just a few years behind instead of a decade behind. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, this is their brand, right? It's like, hey, uh, you React developers don't know what was happening in the platform. Let us kind of like show it to you. But it's like, well, you also don't know what was happening in the platform. That's the like blind leading the blind part, right? It's like they have like a cursory understanding how like all the other stuff works. So like, yeah. I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, so like the streaming format makes sense. The like this is a lazy way of doing it, right? Like this is a stimulus way of doing it. Um uh how to say it? It's like very global, right? It's the same thing as like in Remix, they had like a scripts tag. It's like, oh, I don't want to hydrate something, right? Like let me turn it off. Oh, interesting. I missed this part. So remix frame F3. Okay, so this is like instructions on how to get it, right? So there is this like partial that they call frame fragment, right? That just shows the like the one card, but they don't actually like fetch that because it is streaming, right? And it's like, hey, this is a this is like a promise that will be resolved. So like, don't worry about it. I will send it to you with ID F3. Yeah. I made a joke that like I could have made like so they have like remix server components, right? Like, oh, can I do remix server components and Go? Like this is like simple enough that like sure, yes. And like that's their whole thing, right? It's like they wanted to do it. Yeah, so this is remix hydrated. Interesting, interesting. So that's their like partial hydration version. So like you can send like a static. Hmm. I'm not sure what this thing is about. So this is like a SSR version of it, right? So this one the fragment will not have the entry. So this is not hydrated version. So I will only get I will not get the card button part, right? So like this is not going to work, but like the form is going to be there. Okay, so add to card is like dead HTML right now. But in this one, I'm going to turn off throttling because they should have picked a better image. Oh, it's probably like AI generated. Yeah, the book. doesn't the book doesn't close. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, so the add to cart button. Oh, interesting. So how does this one know it's removed from cart? Remove from, right? So like those two know that they are removed from cart, but this one knows that it's add to cart. Okay. Finally finding something like interesting. Right, in cart is a part of the route. No, it's a prop. Okay. Um, which is like funny, right? It's like you declared your props like here. Oh, oh, because it's hydrated. Because it's hydrated, it has like 3 layers. But yeah, it's just like funny the like the way that they write components is like this one is like a setup function, but the setup function doesn't have access to props. This is like you're going to set updating, not updating, but like yeah, in card, right? Like if I have in card, I have to like set it here, which is yeah, this is going to be annoying. I realize why they're doing it, but still, I think that like the solid way is better. But to each their own. Okay. Um. Okay. So who set the in card? Right. That was. I'm like getting pulled into like different directions. Okay. So now we have when it's a fragment, it has to read it from the session, but if it's a part of this thing, why did you call it frame? Oh, fragment, book cards. Interesting. So like internally, are they like doing the like the fetch internally? Oh, that's interesting because like that means that you can like probably like put those parts. You can probably pull those parts like from like other server and stuff, right? So like here you're like, oh, let me just like check with the router, but I can just like I can literally like fetch here, right? Well, if I fetch, I won't have access to the session. Yeah, yeah. This is no build, but this is going to be like so much duplication and so many ways to break it. Okay, okay. I wish they I wish they were like talking about this part of their on their talk, not the whatever their talk was about. Okay, this is funky. And I guess I have to resolve this card multiple times. Yeah, one, two, three. For each card, I have to do it separate. Oh, interesting. They could have used like async storage or async like a local storage, whatever it's called, right? Because they're in the same request. Yeah, the frame thing is interesting. It is like a mix of like HTMX and React Server components. That is like, well, it is like better and worse than some of those, but in the different dimensions. Okay, yeah, I wouldn't have guessed that part. This is interesting. Okay, okay. So where are we going? This so this is yeah. So like you have the same code like kind of like here and here, which is silly because like yeah, like why do you need this one if you already have that one? if you're already like fetching the fragment, can you just use this code? Yeah, they miss loaders. If they had loaders, this would have been a bit smoother. But yeah, yeah. I don't know. I don't know, man. And like to figure out like the one is get and one is like potentially post. So to figure out where to put your like handlers and all that stuff, and like relative URL that they have to turn into. That's funny. When he was saying about like, oh, like this is so great, like we can match like on the full URL, and it's like, yeah, yeah, but like this is going to be so annoying with with JavaScript because you can only work on the full URLs. Okay, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to think. I was like hoping that all of this is going to work a bit better than it is right now. So satisfies. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I don't really know. You can probably build a cool framework on top of that. That's that's what's interesting about this. Is that like this is like a such a low level. It reminds me that like the kind of like Windows versions, right? So like you have the good one, you have the bad one, you have the good one, you have the bad one. It's like the remix v1 was like, oh well, it's a cool idea, but it's like it's worse than all the alternatives. And then they did remix v2, which is like yeah, like a modern. They have V8 and all that stuff, and it's like, oh yeah, now it is like a competitor. Well, like now they call it React Router 7, right? And it's like this one is like, oh, like you're breaking so many things. It's like I can see how you can build like something good on top of it, but like that's not it yet. Okay. Um, what am I going to do? I have like 10 minutes. So okay, the streaming thing is interesting. It is like it is pretty basic. The like remix hydrated is interesting. Oh, how? Oh, why am I not seeing the implementation? I was like, I'm in the repo. Like, should work? No, can find it for some reason. Okay, well that's not good. Um, but yeah, yeah. And this frame is like split into it's actually was like looking at that, right? So this is like the static part, right? But the am I looking at the same thing? Yeah, the card body. Yeah. So like all of this is like just server partial, right? But then I get card button, and that's the part that goes here, right? The card button. Yeah, the A is here, like this one is there, and because this one is hydrated, now we're getting those like hydrated things. But if it wasn't hydrated, which what is the difference? So this one is function. Uh, so this is like remix handle stuff. Oh, interesting. The server functions. It is like funny that like it is kind of like the opposite of React. Um, So in React Server components, you do like async function thing, um, and like let thing await. Oh, you're killing my dings. I should turn them off. um, fetch, right? Uh, and then you return thing, right? So this is the shape in React Server components, and the idea is that like, well, in normal components, you can't, like the function can't be async. It is like funny. There was like a version of React where you could write async functions. So what they are doing instead is that like they will have this like um, I don't know if resolve frame is the right one or if the fragments is the right one. Yeah. So this is like RSC and this is uh, remix RC. I don't know how to call it. SC, right? Server components. So like uh so they are doing their like they're doing their let thing here, and then they call render on the real one. They're like, yeah. So like this will create more, and then the book art has to be sync, right? Like their server components are synchronous, so you have to fetch all the data above it, which is again like given their history with loaders and all that stuff, that makes sense. But like, well, now if the book card inside of it needs to resolve something, right? Like I need to I need to make that one a frame as well, and that frame needs to fetch again. So it's like, sure, I have streaming, so like all this stuff is going to be kind of like on the server, but what if it's not, right? So like, what if I'm client side refreshing the frame and that frame has another frame, right? So like now this waterfall is on the client, and sure, you can like just like not do that. You can be like uh, careful about it or whatever. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think it solves the things that they think it solves. It's like it is like simpler than RC, but like it feels like RC is complicated for a reason, and like they just like don't understand that reason yet. Yeah, not having suspense is a big thing. The server components have to be synchronous. Like in the end, it is kind of like the same thing, but like it's not going to translate the same on the client interactions. Yeah, that's what it's more like Flash than RC. Yeah, yeah, and it's like it's funny that like they don't talk to those guys. It's funny that like they have to like reinvent the whole thing themselves and like learn from their mistakes in 5 years from now. Okay, so I forgot where I was going. This I can see that they read HTMX book, right? Like the hypermedia book. It did indeed happen. They did indeed read it. Um, they took away from it is that like, hey, you can build a simpler thing that doesn't solve everything, and it will be fine enough. I think that's okay. Okay, yeah. Um, yeah, this term didn't go well. I will definitely have to do more. Uh, the I wonder what I should wait for is just like someone actually doing the like the beat version of this, because it is like annoying how it is set up. I was in terms of like doing the beat version, I was thinking the like the big thing that I want to do uh kind of like stream wise is that I want to do. I was actually like going to create like a like Theo has like this cool like stream planning kind of like docs and all that stuff. I was going to do something like that, and the thinking is that um uh I've been like sick, so I didn't like do anything, and there were like so many topics that I want to do. Can you share the link to the example repo? Yeah, so the two things that I was looking at is like one is this one that is like um uh the one that can't send with like SPA, the like the whatever the Ryan was working on, which again, like I'm not sure if that's true, if that's completely true, but the other one is just remix. Nowadays it is just remix. That's the repo. uh I want to pour this to beat now. Yeah. So anyway, so for kind of like my to do, the things that I want to do kind of like for streams next is that I want to do Astra Plus 10 stack, because um I did this stream. I did this stream 2 years ago. Right? Is it going to show me the date? No, it's not. But like I did Astra Plus 10 stack like 2 years ago. It has the views, but nothing works. So I want to do that stream again. Um, I want to do Astra plus Reactor Router 7, because this is something that like I want to do. I want to do at work. Uh, Unless at work we will just do the down stack, but that's probably not going to happen. So in the same vein, is like, well, I want to do remix v3, right? It's like I want to figure out. It's like um for some of the stuff that like I'm using Lift HTML for, is like, can I just use remix v3, right? Like the SPA part of it, because um there are things in Lift HTML that are like um I have like a bunch of different components, and some of them are like fine, but the more complicated ones is like, well, my thing there is that like I'm just using like Lift HTML solid, so it's like, well, and at some point just like reads solid docs, it will be like fine for what we're doing. But it's like, well, I can also just say like, hey, read the remix docs, right? So like if remix is going to be a thing, and there's going to be like something that is like stable enough, so that's why I kind of like want to do this like later, so it's like it's a bit more clear what is going on with remix. But it's like, can I use remix for the stuff that I'm using Lift HTML now, right? Because Lift HTML is like completely kind of like my thing, and it is like pretty tricky to like, oh yeah, just go use this thing that like doesn't have any docs and whatnot. Spam again. Okay. Um, yeah. So the interesting part about this is I also want to do Astra plus Nitro. uh, I'm not even sure in which order. Maybe like this, right? But it's like, well, the thing that I want to use Nitro for is remix like server side thing going to help me like at all, right? Is like, can I do Astra plus remix server side thing? Yeah. Um, yeah. This is not even like all the ideas that I have, but like this is something that I want to figure out. The one that I want to do, probably like a video, not a stream. I want to like cut it out, so it's like kind of like 15 minutes. I want to do like remix SPA demo in Lift HTML. I think this would be fun because it's like the the things that they're doing there, like it would be like very like fun to just try in Lift HTML. So like this one, I basically need to like build it first, and then I need to like probably cut a video. Okay, um, that was the first look. I think what people can get from this stream is probably going to be just like links to those demos. So I will probably try to keep the like the YouTube video description kind of like up to date with like links to some of the like the remix code bases and whatnot. Yeah, because I couldn't do much. I couldn't do much. Uh, yeah, yeah, and I want to do uh uh remix like how to video. That is like just um I was hoping that like this part is going to be like faster, just like getting through all this stuff. But it's like just building like a simple app, almost like what I did was like web, like this one. Yeah, almost like what I did with this one, but just like with the uh with remix, right? It's like something like very simple, but like how do you build it up from 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 scratch? Anyway, that's going to be it for now. Thanks everyone who joined, and yeah, I will make sure to put stuff in the YouTubes, and see you.